Employee is trying to force me to accept a loan I never asked for. Due to my spouse's disability and my working full-time, we hire a cleaner for 2 hours every week. She's pleasant but lacks punctuality and gossips nonstop. During one of these gossip sessions, my spouse told her that a machine he uses for a hobby recently died and he needed to buy a new one at a cost of around $500. This is an amount that he could save in a couple of months, or we could easily afford in a few weeks if we talked about setting some money aside from both of our incomes. It's not an issue. Our cleaner said, "If you need help, just ask." My spouse responded, "If I need help, I will." The next week, the cleaner arrived and pressed $500 into his hand, saying, "Just pay me back at $50 a month." I was absolutely stunned. We're not poor. We're not rich, but we're definitely not poor. We can afford a cleaner. We could have easily afforded this machine if we made it a priority. I understood my spouse was currently saving for it. My spouse tried to give the money back, saying it was incredibly generous, but we didn't need it. The cleaner said, "I went to the bank just for you. If you don't want it, throw it in the bin." I'm absolutely stumped. This cleaner is my employee. We don't need the money. We never asked for it. And to even use it, I would have to take time off from my full-time job to take my disabled spouse to the bank to deposit it. As the machine he wants can only be purchased online. We tried giving it back, and I don't want to owe money to someone I employ. What on earth do I do now? Update. I wrote in about the employee, my independent contractor cleaner, trying to force me to accept a $500 cash loan I didn't ask for or indicate I wanted in any way. I already provided an update in the comments of that post. We didn't keep the money. We were able to insist she take it back that day. Here's my further update. We had to fire her. Not only was she perpetually late and left early, spent a quarter of her paid time standing around talking and saying we were being weird/off when we wouldn't fully engage with her during these rants, when I was supposed to be working/studying, and her quality had gone downhill despite me reminding her certain jobs that needed doing. She also decided to tell our close mutual friends Jack and Jill that we said something terrible about them. When Jill reached out to ask, "What the hell?" we told her we didn't say anything about them, and we didn't know what she was talking about. And she said our cleaner, who was also their cleaner, said we had a problem with them, which we absolutely did not. Turns out our friends had newly rented a house from our cleaner, which if I had known in advance, I would have strongly recommended against. I knew they were moving, I just wasn't sure where. The cleaner was treating them like personal slaves, lying to them, and trying to manipulate them, to the point where Jill was having a breakdown from anxiety. She was using Jill's high opinion of us to manipulate her. I was so distraught that my friends thought we'd said terrible things about them that we went to the house that night to talk it over, only finding out once we'd arrived that it was being rented from my cleaner. After we figured out what was going on, with her lying both to them and us, my spouse and I agreed we'd have to fire her and find someone new. Side note, we told our friends about her trying to force a loan on us, and they said that when she told them the story, because of course she did, she doubled the offer to $1,000, which my spouse had exclusively asked her for. He had only refused it because I was home, and then he'd yelled at her about it. No mention of throwing it in the bin, of course. So that week when the cleaner came to my house, my spouse was prepared to fire her. However, she was in a foul mood and spoiling for a fight, saying we disrespected her by going to her house and talking about her behind her back. She said, "This will be my last week," then, not expecting my husband to agree, which he did. She was expecting him to fall over apologizing and placate her, tell her she was wonderful, our friends were wrong, and that we'd do anything to keep her. She was in a textbook narcissistic rage, and when he wouldn't play her game, she went running back to Jack and Jill and told them we fired her, that I stood there and swore at her, and said her work wasn't any good. I wasn't even home. My friends called her out on her lies, saying that behavior doesn't sound like me. And then in retaliation, she literally kicked them out of the house they were renting that they'd only just moved into. Our friends told my husband what she'd said and done, and he messaged the cleaner saying, "Look, you said it was your last week, but just to make it clear, I am terminating our agreement. Do not come back. Have a nice life." And then he had to block her because she kept messaging, saying she never said anything about us and sending nonsensical screenshots. Honestly, I'm not sure why she valued our opinions so highly, but I suspect it was all a weird game she was upset at losing. Then, after all that, she backflipped on the whole kicking our friends out of the house and said they could stay if they did exactly as she said when she said it, including weird cleaning requests, demanding Jill go on walks with her, and telling one of them the other owed her money. Then she went to the house and found out they were packing to move again and went through their rubbish and opened their mail and started a fight. Then she told our friends that she made up with my spouse and that she had gone to our house and told him everything, not nice things, about my friends and said he agreed with everything she said. My friend said to her, "That didn't happen, he's blocked you." And she had to go away, humiliated that she's no longer able to manipulate them. They moved out to a new house. I hired a new cleaner and he showed up on time, did an excellent job, and only spoke when he needed to.